suck my.
Yo, what's going on? How you guys doing today? Sweet. For those that are wondering, that is the Nerve showcase they did for 2026. Highly recommend that you guys check it out. Really cool guy. But today we're doing feedback streams. So, yeah, let's get started. If you haven't submitted already, go ahead and submit. And I will review your awesome music. So, first up, we have Vexodus. I think I saw you in the chat earlier. We're doing well. Yeah, let's get started, shall we?
Make my day, make my day, make my day, make my day, make my.
What's up, Radamanthus?
Make my day, make my day, make my pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping and the jam is bumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that. Oh, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Oh, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Make my day. Make my day. Make my day. Pump up the jam, pump it. Get the party going on the dance, pump it. Pump up the jam, pump it.
Wow. I really quite like the sound design. Into this intro.
Jumping, pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that. Oh, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Oh, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, yeah. Pump it, pump it, pump it, pump the jam, pump it.
The laser's just too loud.
Pump up the jam, pump it. Make my day, make my day, make my day, make my day.
Oh, just cuts off there. Sweet. Yeah, actually, I like that. The intro, I think the intro needs something that is less cheesy. This is like the arrangement you have is really cheesy. I think the writing you have is okay. It's just like the way you're writing the rhythm with the melody just makes it feels like I'm listening to what's that song that's in like that Looney Tunes basketball movie, Space Jam? It sounds like that kind of vibe with the super saws and the rave hits. Like it just sounds kind of like that, and that's what I think of. Something cheesy like that. But otherwise, I mean, I like the writing, I like the vocal. I do think that your song overall is just kind of really wet. I said that about the intro, but it's more so like the entire song is really wet. So it sounds like everything's kind of drowned in reverb or something that is like very wide, roomy. Everything except for the laser sound is like really reverbed. And I think if you just made it drier, it would sound better because it sounds just kind of too stereo overall. Like even in the drop, I feel like it's too wide, which is something I don't really say often. And there's some other issues with like notches and stuff. But like in this section, your superstars are sitting really far back, and so the drums are kind of taking the spotlight, which I mean it should be fine, but it's just the instruments are not loud enough. Like they're so pushed back. Jam is bumping, look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. And you just have a ton of reverb, like your vocal is just drenched in reverb. That's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that. Make my day. And this bass, it sounds cool with the tonality and the grit that is going through, but there's like some weird notch. I can't help but hear it. I think there's something going on with your stereo spectrum that is messing up the phases or something, because it sounds like the kind of phasing you would get if you put on like a Haas effect or something and you like put it into mono. Like you're gonna get some weird flanging that is like in the middle or something. That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like there's just a notch. It sounds like there's some flanging, unless you like somehow carved in notches that are in the same spacing as like a flange filter. But like it sounds like there's a notch at like 1k hertz or something, and it just sounds really weird. And even here too, it sounds like there's a notch like really high up, like about 100 or sorry, 1 kilohertz. And again, it's like super wide. The low end is also pretty wide, and I like wideness, but this is the example of too much. Like when you have a bass or like an instrument that is taking focus, that is the primary bass or something, you do want there to be some mono in there because you want to be in your face, really aggressive and really bright. When you have it too far out wide, like difference from your left ear to your right here, it just sounds like it's really far away. And that's good for a lot of cases, but not for your main bass. And you do want some wideness, like it's not a little tiny speaker right in front of you. You want to be like big giant speakers in front of you that's still in front of you and it's still really aggressive and loud, but it's not surrounding you or sound like the sound is reverbing across, you know, some barn from your left and like a city from your right. Like not that big, right? You want to be that reverby. So yeah, just turn down the stereo width on these and I think it'd be fine. And what else? Oh yeah, the lasers. Yeah, those lasers are way too loud. Like it's egregiously loud, and they're also like way drier than everything else. Just turn them down, and honestly leave them be. Don't put any like wet reverb on there. Just leave it be. Just turn it down and make the drop more dry and focused, and I think it'll sound way better. But compositionally, you have a good song. I think this could be played out if you fix these mixing issues. Good enough to send to producers or not? I think this would be good as a self-release. Self-release are always really good. And sending to producers, still always good. You want to get yourself played out. And I think this is kind of, it's like if you were to send this to like anyone that does shows that you know of, you could send it to them and they'd probably play it out. But you need to just build up recognition and like a name for yourself for bigger artists start playing your stuff out. Because if you have like if you're a one-hit wonder and you have a crazy good song, then people will play your song regardless if you want them to or not. I get you with the cheese part. I mean, how can I improve on the intro? I think I have Ozone on the master doing compression and stereo expansion in the mids. What you mean on notches on the bass? Not that I'm avoiding perfection, but also I kind of need to just ship this one out. Let me know a summary of what I can do to finish. Not sure if I have the capacity to redo the intro creatively. That's fine if you don't want to redo the intro. I kind of advocate for you like to move on. I staying stuck on a song, unless it's like a really big deal, like you're calling with Skrillex or something, right? Then it probably is a a big deal. But most of the time, when you're like a newer producer and you're trying to get into the scene, like just pushing stuff out is what you want to do, because you're gonna spend more time redoing it than progressing and getting better. But the things that kind of stick out to me is using Ozone for mastering. Ozone, when you're kind of new to mastering, and you even started producing for 4 years, so when you're newer to like mastering and production, I'm not expecting you to know all these things in 4 years. Like in 4 years, I'm expecting you to grasp like how to use your DAW, how to get some sounds out, how to set up an arrangement, some basic sidechain mixing, mastering stuff. But you're not mastering like any of those things. You're still kind of learning those things. And so when Ozone is put in front of you, it's like deceptively friendly for newer producers, because they see all these options like stereo expansion, compression, multiband compression, maximizer, EQ, all these other things. I mean, I fell into that trap years ago. And the craziest thing that happened to me with Ozone, I got Ozone totally legally, by the way, because I saw Virtual Riot use it, and I saw all his settings in like Ozone 5, and I tried to recreate it in Ozone 7, and like I don't know why. I just like thought that his method was like the best method, and I followed it to a T. But what I end up didn't know, what I didn't know was gonna happen is it like actually completely destroyed my mix. Like everything was just terrible. I was better off just having like a limiter and maybe a clipper on. That's why I always say like limiter and clipper is all you need. But in particular, the transient emphasizer thing they have on Ozone, I don't remember what it's called exactly, but it's on like the maximizer or something, and it's supposed to like preserve your transients and make the song still dynamic. And usually, I just turned it all the way up, and I was like, oh yeah, I want my transients to be popping, and I want my kick and snare to be hitting really hard, and so I did that. When I turned it off, ironically, my transients hit a lot harder, because it was just like putting a transient shaper on your song. Like it didn't actually help your song. It just added worse dynamics. So though anything in Ozone is deceptively easy to use, so I advise like kind of not using it, honestly. And that's where probably a lot of your problems are coming from. Notches in the bass. I don't have the project in front of me, so I can't tell what's happening, but there's definitely something going on in the high end where I hear like a notch, and it bothers me. And it sounds like a mistake. It's not sounding like a notch that is adding movement or adding character, or it sounds like it's coming from the amp. It sounds like there's some kind of phasing issue. I know what you mean on notch on the bass. I think it's phasing a bit in a couple places. So good on that one. Intro has been a struggle to make. Just pop with the vocals. I'm trying to tighten it. Yeah, for sure. Michael Wolf said, you have to really know your thing to use Ozone properly, not just randomly messing around with multi-band compressor and calling it a day. Dude, I thought I like made, oh my gosh, why are there two people? Dude, why are there two people advertising the thing? I literally made that as a like a keyword to blacklist. Whatever. The thing with Ozone is I think it's kind of too user friendly or beginner friendly for you to really get what you want. Like if you really know what you're doing, you're not going to be using like half of their little things. Like their things, their little tools are catered to newer people. Like the transient emphasis thing. No person's ever going to use that. Like absolutely no one's using that. It's so terrible. And then they have like their maximizing algorithms, which are just also not good, and they don't really help at all. So like, for what it's worth, they're not helping you. I just don't think they're doing much different than like any other compressor or limiter or anything else. But I don't know. I haven't used it in a while because of that whole incident, and I was just kind of turned off by all these mastering plugins. They think they can solve everything, but you can really get away with doing so little. Like the example is like Skrillex. Like a lot of his songs is just like a limiter, like straight up a limiter, some mild compression, and that's it. But yeah, just really a limiter carrying everything. But thank you for submitting. Hope that helps. Okay, we have Avada. Welcome back to this. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. I like those little pauses. Ooh. Oh, nice. Bruh. I really don't have much to say about that. That's really good. Bro. Okay, who is the person you're collabing with? I gotta know. I feel like it's someone that I would know. It's Pike. Actually, I think I've seen them around a little bit, but This is really good to me. I think your sound design is really good. Your mixing, really good. Uh, I think your writing could be a little bit better. Also, it is rhythm. I'm trying to keep that in mind. But like the melody, it's just, it's just you know. It could be way better, honestly. Yeah, I'm not saying to write a symphony, but it could use some spice, some different melody or rhythm or anything like that. Just some spice, you know what I mean? Uh, Build up's great.
Everybody.
I like these little pauses you did. Like those kind of you're pulled out of the drop for a moment. It's a really good way to introduce some tension and variation. And you're also doing it in a unique way, so I like that. Hmm. I mean, dude, as far as like rhythm goes, you're doing pretty good. I always say this about rhythm. I feel kind of lame saying it because I somehow like don't understand rhythm completely still, but like y- it's having that unique flair in rhythm that separates you from everyone else. If you can implement that in some way, uh, then I think you can separate yourself from other artists and people will be able to recognize your song more and be able to like, you know, if someone plays your song out or something, they'll be like, oh, that's from Avada. You know, a lot of other people have it. You have your like the bloops, the bleep bloops, the little 8-bit sounds that I forget his name. I feel so lame now. But you know what I'm talking about, like the bleep bloops. You have some people with the weird laser zaps. You have modal nodes with like the really formant basses and like splashy mixing, and like obviously they're sampling Star Wars and all that. But you need just something in there that says it's you. So, yeah, Astaroth. I think Astaroth is more kind of like tear outy. I can't remember like any of his rhythm songs, but he's like more of a tarot artist to me. For better intros, just on your own, try to write something that is melodic. Practice in like a scale. If you wanna, I mean, I don't know if you want to practice in major, but like practice in minor, harmonic minor, Arabic, Phrygian. I use Phrygian all the time because I love that key. But seriously, like practice in all those keys. Just write something melodic. Write something that has a progression. You can make it kind of like a darker progression, sinister, eerie, whatever you want. But really experiment, and try to learn new things in there, and then see if like you can implement your own music. But I do that all the time. I don't do it as frequent anymore because I kind of like understand the scales more now with experience. But that's what I used to do to kind of get better at writing. But yeah, just try it out. Do it on piano. If you do it on piano, it's even better. Like if you have a real piano keyboard, then you can write things a lot faster. That's what I do. I just kind of mess with my keyboard and I find a little hook or motif that I like, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds nice. And I'll just literally record it in MIDI and, you know, play with it from there. But that's all the pick I had for you, really. I think it's good, just all around really solid. Good stuff. Thank you for submitting. Doing a self-release, nice. All right, next up we have Radamanthus. Thank you. You were the one that did vocals on your own track. I'm actually looking forward to hearing it, if you did again. I don't know what that says. Yes is there, Michael Wolf. breakbeat. Cool. I got something there. Yeah, good job, man. I think your intro was really ethereal and big, wide. So, you did a good job having that like cinematic feel. I think the transition here was good, but you kind of like went immediately into the build up. I kind of wish there was a bit longer tension. Like between the melodic part and the drop, it was actually like 10 seconds. Like I need more time to digest the transition. And I feel like this snare is also just too fast. That snare makes me feel like it's gonna be like a really fast song, like really like you know, like some crazy rhythm, but it's not. It's just like kind of slow, like something like that. So I think your build-up needs to reflect that more, because it's different when you have it starting to like and it speeds up. This is just starting really fast and it doesn't really change. So just kind of space it a little bit, make the starting of the snare roll slow, and then you can build up. Also, your sound design, I like the tone of it, but it is very thin sounding. I think it's cool having like metallic tones like that, but it sounds so scooped in the mids. Like there's no body to it, so it just sounds like it's low end and then the metallic high end. So there's just nothing in the middle to like glue those frequencies together. So it sounds kind of thin and weak. And that's why I think possibly layering another bass over it, like it could be something really simple, like a growl or something. I just said it was simple and then said growl, but you know what I mean. Something growly that has mid chunkiness. It could be like a respace too, anything like that. It just needs to have some mid information that you can build off of, because this bass, I wouldn't consider this bass as like the main bass. I would think of this more as like a layer bass that would go over. So I'd like high pass it, and then my main bass would be like a growl that has a lot of the chunky low end that I want. And obviously it would have like the same rhythm and stuff. Also, this pre-drop is way too short. Like this is what, like a quarter note pre-drop? It should be like a bar at most. Also, there's some minor sound design issues you have. When your bass is playing its note, you have like an LFO on the bass, and when I can hear the LFO opening and closing, I can hear your low end just getting absolutely bonkers. It's just boosted really loud, and it goes into distortion, and then kind of ruins the tone of your bass. Like it's there's some kind of bleeding happening or something with the LFO where your lows are obliterating your high end, and it's just making it sound like there's some issue with the lows that are on the master or something. Like it just sounds like something's going on. Like what's up with your lows? Your lows shouldn't be doing that. Also, you have too long a sidechain. I like that little sound. I think it's pretty cool sound. Sounds kind of like the space lace. Also, I can hear like that little, what's it even called? Like a rhythm alarm? The little that thing is like ducking in audio because of the low end is so dynamic and just random. Like your low end is peaking randomly whenever the LFO moves, and so when the low end peaks and it hits your master freaks out and goes ah, and then it ducks everything and it's ducking your little rhythm alarm. So just listen to the rhythm alarm briefly, and you can hear it just like ducking randomly. Like that poor little rhythm alarm, dude. It's just getting pushed around. Yeah, and you put some kind of, what's it even called? Pitch map. You put like pitch map on there. I think it's okay, but like you don't have anything in the mids to carry the weight over still. You just need a bass layer. Possible EP release with noticers. Dude, I don't think an EP is going to really get you anywhere. I think you really should do just self-releases if you're a smaller artist, because it's how you grow. An EP is going to take a lot more time and energy, and it's going to be a burst of a release, so you can't update your discography frequently for you to seem more active. People like active artists that post like a month every month. It's just not true for like older artists, but when you're growing, like people want to see consistency, they want to see frequency. Having an EP, if you have say 5 songs in the EP, that's a good amount of songs that you're gonna have, and you release them say like once every 6 months. Let's say it takes you like a month to write one song, you release it in an EP with everything else. You could be releasing that song every month and then seem really active, as opposed to people waiting 6 months, forgetting about you completely, and then hearing about you 6 months later. You're also destroying your replayability. People don't usually listen to an EP like that on newer artists. You're trying to get into the discovery phase where people hear your song for the first time and they think, wow, this is good. And they play your song again and they share it. People are less likely to share an EP. People are more likely to share an individual song. So think of it in that way. You should just be doing single releases, but I mean, if you really want to, if it's like a friend or something, then sure, fine. Just as long as you make new music, I'm fine with it if you're learning. Yeah, and the last thing I was gonna say is the bass is harsh, like those metallic tones are harsh, but I think that's kind of an issue with a little bit of your sound design mixing wise. Like your low end is kind of making it seem really weird. Like I can imagine you're trying to mix the bass in with all its metallic tones or whatever, and you're thinking, huh, it's not as loud and powerful as I want to sound, so I'm gonna turn it up. And because you don't have anything in the mids, and because the lows are extremely dynamic and they are just kind of playing whatever, I can see you thinking, oh, I just need to boost it here. I just need to turn up the volume so it's more impactful. When in reality, it's your low end that's causing a lot of those issues, and you need something in the mids to compensate for energy loss. So yeah, I think that's all the feedback I have for you. So thank you for submitting. And next up, we have Mecha Wolf. That's me. What the hell? All right, let's listen. In sleep. That was really short. That little like 8-bit sound. Welcome, Radamanthus. I like your sub. Your sub is really consistent and it's chunky. Also, your arrangements are always like getting good. I just think it needs to be a lot more layers and things going on. Like it's just the drums and bass, like fine, but sound design is good. There's no real issues with it. Your snare just needs a little bit more highs because it sounds very like it's all just like in the mids. If you add some sizzle on top, like a tss, something like an EQ, I think would be fine. But it just needs like the high end to be there. And your cymbals are pushed too far back. I think sidechaining your cymbals is mostly a mistake. You just want to cut out the area where it would hit with the same time as your transient. So like a little bit of a attack on the cymbal would work. Yes, you need to add more elements to it, really. But yeah, otherwise, really good stuff. There's an actual phase distortion on the sub bass. Well, it sounds good, so you're doing something right. It sounds nice and crunchy like the Space Laces kind of subs. But I don't have much else to say about this. You just need to add more, because I don't have much to go off of. So, yeah, thank you for submitting. We're on to the free submissions now. Cool. Kaizo. Ooh. That was wild. Bro, your sound design is really unique. I like it a lot. I like this part. I think it's a bit distorted though. It just sounds like it's too pushed. Also, it sounds like a sustained sub or something is playing here. I think if you just kept the sub of the drums, it would sound fine. This is kind of the song where you don't really need like a tonal sub anyways. Like having just a rumble, like imagine industrial techno, like a really rumbly low end would be fine. I think it's gun bass here. I think it just sound better. I know you're kind of using like really metallic instruments and trying to keep it kind of raw, but it sounds like too mid-heavy and also really repetitive. Like it sounds like it's a sample that you cut out and you're just repeating the same sample. I want some more dynamic, like non-repetitiveness, if you know what I mean. You could honestly add like metallic layers over it, like I don't know, like a key set, just jingling like I'm a baby, goo goo gaga, just jingle like a little key set while the gun plays, and so it sounds more organic, or like a glass break or something. And I think in here you're also suffering from the sub bass as well, because the sub bass is kind of like a sustain when you have percussive instruments. So it's just not complementing your arrangement really. I think probably just getting an 808 or something, that like a really punchy, resonant 808, just layer it over the gun bass or something. I think that would sound better because it sounds more percussive that way. But not much else to say about this. You could probably tilt the drop more with like more drums and stuff, but yeah, nothing really else to say. Really unique, really good job. So thank you for submitting, Kaisel. And this is gonna be a short stream because this is the last one. We got Espen. I haven't seen Espen in a while. Whoa. Has anyone seen this screen before? What do you get when you divide an 808 in half? A 404. They wrote a joke. Instead of fixing their site, they wrote a little joke when you can't find something. Dude, I've never seen this before. What? Espen, if you are here, could you resubmit your song, please? I'm gonna try loading again. Oh, what? Okay, never mind. Why did it do that to me? Okay. Whoa, oh. Ooh. I like that a lot. Oh my goodness, that was like genre overload. Went from like a rhythm intro to I don't know what kind of genre that is, but it's something. I think this part is just really mono. I'm just gonna give feedback with my voice instead of taking notes, but part's just really mono. Not much of a separation of instruments. It's really industrial though, I like it. It goes into rhythm. Rhythm drums. Okay. Ooh. In this part, I think your low end is just really inconsistent. Your low end here, really loud. And it goes from loud and now it's quiet. Sub bass here is quiet on the gun bass. But I really like this part. This section here is great. Really punchy kick, clap sounds nice. Your gun bass, mwah, great. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to say about that. Just sub bass is inconsistent. Think good writing all around. And maybe make this part more stereo. And the scream is it's a little bit of an interesting touch. I don't know about it. I would reconsider it honestly. But yeah, that's all I think I have really for you. So thank you for submitting. I think it's the last one for today. So it was a short one today. But I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, kind of happy that I had to finish early because